Welcome back, children. So, let us study about pregnancy and embryonic development. Pregnancy and embryonic development. So, when does this pregnancy occurs? When the blastocyst gets embedded on the wall of the endometrium. Okay, see, you can see the different pictures of embryonic development. See, after implantation, what will happen? Finger-like projections are called chorionic villi. Finger-like projections are there known as chorionic villi. It will appear on the trophoblast. Trophoblast is the outermost layer of the blastocyst. Okay, it will appear on the trophoblast, which is surrounded by the uterine tissue and maternal blood. So both the tissues, that is trophoblast and the cells of the endometrium, will get interdigited. It will get interdigited and it will form a chorionic villi. So after implantation, finger-like projections, that is in the picture you can see that is red color structures, red color, the junction between the trophoblast and the uterine wall. You can see chorionic villi appear on the trophoblast and it is surrounded by the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. See, in the picture it is clearly given. In the second picture it is clearly given, and you can see the umbilical artery, umbilical cord is developed. See, in this picture I will send a video of a fertilization and implantation. Then this chorionic villi and this uterine tissue become interdigited with each other to form placenta. So how is placenta formed? The chorionic villi and uterine tissue becomes interdigited with each other to form a placenta. And what are the functions of placenta? Placenta is a structural and functional unit of embryo and maternal blood. It is the structural unit between embryo and maternal body. So placenta is connected to the embryo by an umbilical cord. So how is placenta connected? Placenta is connected to the embryo by an umbilical cord and it transports substances to and from the embryo. So what is the main function of, so many functions are there. So main function is transportation of food, nutrients, transportation of oxygen, transportation of carbon dioxide. So many functions are there for placenta. So placenta is connected to the embryo by an umbilical cord and it transports substances to and from the embryo. That is the main function of placenta. And placenta also act as endocrine gland. It also these functions are clearly mentioned here. It acts as a barrier. This placenta acts as a barrier between fetus and mother. Then it supplies oxygen, nutrients, etc. from mother to fetus. Then it also helps in the removal of carbon dioxide and excretory waste from the fetus. And it also acts as an endocrine gland. Why? How it acts as endocrine gland? It secretes human chorionic gonadotropin, that is hormone. Human chorionic gonadotropin, then human placental lactogen, then estrogen, progesterone, and relaxin. So one question will be asked: justify placenta is an endocrine gland. Then you have to write this function. It acts as endocrine gland because it secretes human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen, estrogens, progesterone, and relaxin. So these are the functions of placenta. And relaxin is also secreted by ovary. Relaxin is also secreted. It is a hormone. Relaxin is also secreted by ovary. So these are the functions of placenta. Now this germ layers, you have already studied about germ layers, that is triploblastic, diploblastic and all. Humans are triploblastic. 3 germinal layers are there: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So these germ layers give rise to all the tissues and organs of our body. All 3 germinal layers, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, it gives rise to all the tissues or organs. And the stem cells in inner cell mass have the potential to give rise to all the tissues and organs. So inner cell mass is made up of stem cells, and stem cells have got potential to give rise to all the tissues and organs. Okay, so that stem cell is actually, it is known as pluripotent. Pluripotent means stem cells, any cell of the stem cell can give rise to any type of tissues and organs. So the cells are pluripotent. Pluripotent. Now this human pregnancy, it is called gestation period. Gestation period lasts 9 months. Human pregnancy lasts for 9 months, and for cats and all 2 months, dogs 2 months, elephants 21 months. For human, gestation period lasts 9 months. Now let us see what are the changes in embryo during pregnancy. What all changes occurs in the embryo during pregnancy. After 1 month, what happens? Heart is formed. First heart is formed. After 1 month, heart will be formed. End of the second month, then limbs and digits are developed. Limbs and digits will be formed. Then by the end of 12 week, that is first trimester, first 3 months, major organs like limbs, external genital organs, etc. are well developed. That is why this first 3 months are very crucial, and we should not take any unwanted medicine or any other thing, because it will affect the development of these organs. So end of the first trimester, major organs like limbs, external genital organs are well developed. Then during 5th month, that first moment of fetus and appearance of hair on the head. First 5th month, what will happen? There will be movement of the embryo. Mother can easily detect the movement of the embryo inside the womb. And by the end of 24 weeks, that is second trimester, body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed. So these are the changes which take place in the embryo during pregnancy. Then by the end of the 9th month, it will be ready for delivery. See, you can see the fully matured embryo ready to deliver. Now let us study about parturition and lactation. Parturition. What is parturition? Parturition is childbirth. Childbirth is called parturition. So let us see how the child lies. So parturition is childbirth or labor. Okay, process of giving birth to young one is called parturition. Childbirth is called parturition. So it is actually parturition is induced by neuroendocrine mechanism. Both this neural system and endocrine system plays an important role in parturition. So first, what happens when the fully matured embryo, that is signal from the fetus and placenta, induce mild uterine contractions, that is called fetal ejection reflex. Okay, and it causes the release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary gland. So first, what happens during this labor, that fetus and placenta induce mild uterine contractions, that is called fetal ejection reflex, and it causes the release of oxytocin from the pituitary gland of mother. Then this oxytocin causes stronger uterine muscle contractions, which in turn stimulate further secretion of oxytocin. Then what will happen? This oxytocin causes stronger uterine muscle contraction of the that uterine contraction will increase, and that causes labor pain. Contraction of the uterus causes labor pain, and it will in turn stimulate further secretion of the oxytocin, and this process is continued, leading to expulsion of the baby out of the uterus through the birth canal or vagina. So these are the processes which take place during parturition. First, the signals, the fetus and placenta will send signals, that is mild uterine contractions, fetal ejection reflex, and it causes release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary gland. Then oxytocin causes stronger uterine muscle contractions, which in turn stimulate further secretion of oxytocin. This process is continued, leading to expulsion of the baby out of the uterus through the birth canal. Now in the picture you can see, after the birth of the baby, umbilical cord is cut. See, first baby comes out, and after that placenta comes out. So first, after the birth of the baby, umbilical cord is cut. The umbilical cord is cut off, and placenta and remnants of umbilical cord are expelled from the maternal body after parturition, and it is called afterbirth. So first child will come out, and after that umbilical cord is cut off. Then placenta and remnants of the umbilical cord are expelled from the mother's body after parturition, and it is called afterbirth. Now, after childbirth, mammary glands produce milk towards the end of pregnancy by a process called lactation. So after the childbirth, mother will start secreting milk, because milk is very important for child. So mammary glands produces milk towards the end of the pregnancy by a process called lactation. And first, what is called colostrum, the first milk, that is yellowish milk produced during the initial few days of lactation, is called colostrum. And that colostrum contains several antibodies essential to develop resistance for the newborn babies. So colostrum contains this antibodies are there, which is very important for the protection of the newborn babies. So what is colostrum? Yellowish milk produced during the initial few days of lactation is called colostrum. So this is all about parturition and secretion, lactation. Now you can check your grasp. Placenta is heart of the fetus is formed. Process of giving birth to young one is known as. Name the hormone that causes stronger uterine muscle contraction during labor. The yellowish milk produced during the initial few days of lactation is called. So this is the end of chapter 3. Thank you.